over. 18-14. Game point 14. Service over. 15.
Please welcome the court officials for court number 1. Men's singles from the Netherlands, Eric Payne. He faces from Denmark, Persson. Umpire is Morgensen. Our service judge is Joachim Persson.
By Scott Evans, 21-15.
Welcome back on court number 2 here at the Yonex Denmark Open 2012. We're in the second game of the men's singles qualifications match between Joachim Persson from Denmark and Scott Evans from Ireland. Scott, who is actually living in Denmark. 21-15 for Evans in the first game, and also a good start for Evans, who without a doubt is the best men's single in Ireland at the present time. Two players met twice before, 1-1. Last match between those two guys in an international tournament was actually at Yonex Denmark Open 2011, also in the qualification, where Evans won 23-21 in the third set. Of course, not very fun to be Joachim Persson at that point. Persson, who has been struggling a lot with injuries and fighting his way back to the top stage. Persson has been in the absolute top of badminton for years, for some years, but it's also some years ago now. Persson were in top 10 on the world ranking. Now he's number 55, Evans number 52. His best result in the world ranking for Evans was 39. great rallies between the two guys. It's a good matchup in this qualification. Evans and Persson. Persson, who have won several of the European competitions, tournaments during his career. Evans without the big victories. And some years ago, Persson wouldn't have any problem with Scott Evans. As we also can see in the head-to-head, they met back in 2009 in the mixed teams championship, European championships, where Evans got 13 and 18 against Persson. But now the rule have changed.
6-4.
Persson with the service. And he's in a good shape. Joachim Persson lost a lot of weight in the last year, getting a lot of muscles, and been building up his body after his injuries. Smash from Persson, bit too short, the left from Evans.
7-4. Correct, 8-4. Service over. 5-8. Service over. 9-5.
Good idea from Persson, but too wide.
Service over.
This match to the right-hand side of Scott Evans. And we have got a question from Sachin Chombrard. I think it's the way you pronounce it. Sachin asks, how difficult is it for a player to return to competition after a long break to get into winning form? What helps in getting up to speed faster? And it's a very good question, Sachin. Look at Joachim Persson and you have the answer, I think. Joachim Persson was a top player when he got injured, and now he's number 55 on the world ranking, and he has struggled a lot. The field of players are very, very tough in most of the categories, and you have to train hard. You have to train a lot, and you have to play competition, and you have to accept, I think you have to accept that you have some, there will be some players that you can't beat, that you've been beaten before. You will have some spectacular losses, but it's also a thing about mindset, I think, and I think that Persson will agree with me on that. Persson and I have talked about it before. It takes a long time, and many players don't get back. And for the first time at this Yonex Denmark Open, let's go to the mixed zone. My dear colleague Marie-Louise Alberts is ready with an interview. And Marie-Louise, what do you have for us?
Hi, hello, and welcome to this interview session from Denmark Open. I'm standing here with the Olympic champion, Cai Yun from China. And first of all, Cai Yun, welcome to Denmark. How is it to be in Denmark?
很好吧，因为丹麦也是每年都会来，觉得很不错。
Very good. Yeah, as I always come to Denmark every year. I feel so good.
What are your expectations for this tournament?
希望争取好的成绩，因为奥运会以后都没怎么训练，但是只要是比赛，我一定会尽力打好吧。
I hope I have a good result, as I haven't had really a serious training after Olympics. But I hope I can give a good match this year.
What's a good result for you then? What's a good result for you then?
和丹麦的选手决赛吧。
To meet Matthias and Karsten in the final.
And how would it be to play the Danish men's double? Well, you won against them at the Olympic final, but how would it be to play them here in Denmark?
就是说，之前你们遇到很多次，之前也在奥林匹克也是打过，但是在丹麦感觉是。
11-10.
因为丹麦是他们主场嘛，我相信很多观众都会给他们加油。可能对于我们来说有一定的压力，我想只要遇到他们，一定会全力的给观众献上一场精彩的比赛。
Because it's their home court, and then definitely they will get more support compared to us. But we will try our best to give a fantastic match.
And just a final question, what do you think of the level in general at this tournament here in Denmark?
就是总体来说，你感觉丹麦这个比赛的就是水平怎么样？总体组织水平？
应该说是非常顶级的一个比赛吧，因为很多高手都会来参加，而且赛事的组织也好，观众也好，我觉得都是非常高水平的。
I think in general, this is high-class tournament, as this is premium level, and then the audience is very enthusiastic, and also the arena so fantastic.
Thank you very much.
And also thanks to our reporter Marie-Louise Alberts. Thanks for this interview with Cai Yun, and interesting to hear this Olympic champion talked about his expectations for this tournament. Of course, he would like to stand in the final, and interesting to know that he hasn't trained that hard since the Olympics. It's also their first tournament, he and Fu Haifeng, and of course interesting to see if he can make it into the final together with Haifeng against Danish Mathias Bo, Carsten Morgensen. Also a big compliment for the tournament, of course, that it's that Cai Yun think it's a high-class tournament this year's Yonex Denmark Open, of course, and no doubt about that. Strong qualification already today, and it witnesses about that. We have a tournament that is very, very strong.
Service judge is Joachim Persson.
One fighting for his life in this tournament, Joachim Persson, 14-15 now. Against Scott Evans down the line from Persson. And once again, rush to the net. And wide from Evans, although a good defense performance here by Scott Evans.
15 all.
15 all. (16-15) lead now for Persson.
16-15.
And for sure, there's one thing you can be sure of when you watch Joachim Persson. He will fight until the match is over. He's not the quitting type. And my colleague and reporter Marie-Louise Alberts is working very hard. She's ready once again in the mix zone, and let's hear it from you, Marie-Louise. What's in it for us this time?
Hi, hello, and welcome to another interview here from Denmark Open. I'm standing with Carsten Morgensen, one part of the leading men's double here in Denmark. And first of all, Carsten Morgensen, how is it to play a tournament here in Denmark?
It's yeah, of course, very, very good and very funny to play on home soil. Normally we travel around the world, and there is only a few times we can play in Denmark, and we enjoy it and looking forward to Denmark Open every year.
How has you and your partner Matthias, how have you been preparing for this tournament?
Yeah, we prepare as we normally do. Try to have the focus on the tournament. Try to focus on what we have to do to play our best, and that's not different from the Olympics compared to this tournament. So it's a normal preparation for a tournament.
What do you have to do then to do your best?
Yeah, we have to play our best and try to play our best, and it's difficult to say what we have to do, but we are quite good in the serve and return, defense, offense, and we have to play our best in all these things, because otherwise you can play against some is very good at the serve, and then you will lose. So we have to try to find our A game, and if we can do that, we have a good chance to reach maybe the semi-final or the final.
And you're first seeded as well in this tournament. Is it a pressure for you, or how do you take it?
Of course, it is a pressure, but we try to relax, and of course we are seeded 1, but that's just a spot in the program. So we try to don't think too much about that, and just take one match at a time.
And then just one last question. It's possible to get a revenge for the last final at the Olympics. Do you have that in mind as well, and what have you thought about that?
Right now we don't think about that, but of course when we saw the draw, it was possible to play against Fu and Cai in the final, and that would be of course very funny to play against them and at home soil. We did that last year and lost quite easy in 2 sets. So it's not only a revenge for the Olympics, but it's also a revenge for the last year's Denmark Open.
Just one more final question, but how well do you know them well, these Olympic champions? Do you know them as friends as well, and do you speak to them with out of court?
No, actually we don't do that. They can't speak English, and of course we say hello to each other, and I think that we also like each other because we have played many times, and we have seen them the last 7 or 8 years. So we know them quite good, but they can't speak English, so it's of course very difficult to speak to them.
Thank you.
Another good work from Marie-Louise Alberts. This interview with Carsten Morgensen. Just to make the summary of this match, we just have seen going on. Almost seems like Scott Evans took the win in this match. You also get some words from the judge here of understandable good rally from Evans and Persson.
Match point 19.
Match point for Scott Evans, 2019. Match point for Evans, and victory 21-15, 21-19. Emotional. Evans. And Persson is not satisfied with all the shouting into his head. Persson is out of Yonex Denmark Open 2012. Evans is continuing his march against the main draw. We'll take a short break, and then we'll be back with another men's singles. It's Tanonsak from Thailand against the Henry Huskainen from Sweden.